So today I'll be playing leagues with Titan, but I got 1 Tolaria West and 3 Summoner's Pact, 2 out of 4 Mycosynth Gardens and 3 Escape to the Wilds. I'm on a very persisting quest of trying to reduce the reliance on Summoner's Pact in this deck, because it's for a long time. Since a long time I'm considering Pact to be the weakest link of the deck, the most, well, one of the easiest to attack angles of the deck, so we want to have tools to distance ourselves from that. I've played with 2 Escape to the Wild, 2 Pact yesterday at my FNM. I didn't really draw it enough to say anything conclusive. It was caused by the fact that I only own 2 copies of Escape to the Wilds. I did remember about this card because I remember the spike decks for some reason, which are the Amulet builds that eschew Titan. Of course they play Golos instead for no reason, which is just bad, right? Like, doesn't make sense. But Escape to the Wilds makes a little bit of sense, and especially in post-board games alongside sweepers might be okay. Escape to the Wilds, nicely chilling in my hand. Do you ever worry about people looking at your hand through stream? Well, surely that happens some portion of the time, but I wouldn't say I worry about that too much. Hey, we just mulliganed to the same hand. Holy shit. I guess keep this play, turn 1 Grazer and chill with...
He's a phenomenal control player.
They keep hiding the
do I think it's better to cut Pact for Escape than cutting something like Grazer? Maybe 2 Pacts and 3 Grazers or some other combination? Question mark. I am unlikely to play a list like this one for like a longer amount of time, but I just wanted to try triple Escape the Wilds, and also wanted to try minimal reliance on Pact. So this list, playing it through a league, it's going to let me gain info on those aspects the best. I'll learn whether, you know, it really stings and hurts to only have 1 Pact, 1 TUS. And I'll learn the most about Escape the Wilds because I'll draw it the most. I think like double Pact, double TUS is probably still a more natural inclusion. Or perhaps Escape to the Wilds is actually better suited as a sideboard card, which I think is the most likely scenario. At the same time, I'm battling it out against Signal Pest, so not a common card. We'll go to a terrible 5, drew the 1 ring and probably will win anyways because my opponent kept the 1 lander. Maybe they'll just go land Bushwalker 2 turns in a row and they'll kill me or something, but the Ornithopters don't even bother attacking. Alright, that's fair. So I could... well, they only have 1 card in hand, so like they can't really have much that's threatening. Should I make them draw 2 with the 1 ring? Perhaps they attack me for what? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Up to 7, but most likely 4. Just play the ring then. I'll draw 2, but I think, well, I'll draw more. No Modernowe wygrałem w nocy z Marcinkiem z wtorku na środę. To było to, co patrzyłeś też do trzeciej rundy. Tapped Scared Foundry, Trouble Inspector. I haven't played Leagues in a long time, but holy shit, it's kind of crazy how you play against decks like this. O Boże, ale sure. Let's say they play a Goblin Bushwalker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, that seems pretty lethal then. So I'll just draw. No reason not to draw. Okay, I drew a Grazer. What can we do with that? I can play Amulet, copy, play Bounce Land, have 4 mana, Grazer, plus 3, 7, 8 mana, cannot transmute. Sad. So, Focal? What can you do with those LCQs? Those LCQs qualify you, if you go 5-0 in them, they qualify you for the Pioneer, well, Pioneer or Legacy, depends on the format, of course, depends on the LCQ. They qualify you for the 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Can we somehow play Dryad here and start wiping? I don't think I can. Pretty sure I can't, so will not do that. Those LCQs qualify you for the showcase qualifiers, where you can qualify for the mocks. Ligi to jest takie oro, no jest, no. Tutaj agent jakiś. So they can qualify you. The 2 tokens I get, I can use them to play in tournaments that qualify for the mocks and for the PT. Who here thinks Bidets are disgusting? I think objectively they are not. Like, how can you make that claim? Qualifier of qualifier of qualifier of qualifier of qualifier of qualifier, yeah. Yeah, this is kind of odd that all you end up doing is like qualifying for qualifiers, but it's a really nice one, the qualification. Are you still going to play Prague since you queued for both showcases? I have not deferred my invites yet, but I will probably do that. But I'm wondering if it's worthwhile to play the Prague tournament more so than playing 2 showcases. And now we win next turn by summoning a Titan. This one, of course. think it's a bad Escape the Wilds matchup. But I don't want to cut it. Maybe I'll board down on Explorers. Maybe let's board down 2 Sagas because White has enchantments, I don't know. Enchantment Destruction. Oh, let's go 64. 64 is good. Good size. Can the bot fetch music from Bandcamp? I have it set to YouTube only for convenience. Fracom, thank you very much for the Sabini. Just please cut the clunky 5-drop XD. What's so bad about Traktask? It's probably worse than Explorer, I guess. Kiełba Bloda. Kurde, jest Roblox ten. Roblox, Clunky 5-drop, huh? Imagine like playing Modern, the Magic the Gathering format Modern and keeping the sand against an aggro deck on the draw. Well. What can I say? Crumbling Vestige notably better than an extra bounce land would be here. Better than Celestial Sanctuary could have ever been in this hand. Leonin Rerik Bordener. Okay. Punished for ever thinking I can Saga a person postboard. Ulek nie widzę nic, jak tak siedzisz, wiesz? Today a guy that streams Hand Showdown, a game I played with Post Malone and they talked about Magic the Gathering. This did feel a bit surreal. Hand Showdown? Shooter? Did they talk about Magic or did they talk about EDH? Hashtag EDH. Worst kind of Magic. Hashtag. Holy snap, it's Night Errand of Eos. Didn't even play the Sentinel? We probably should. Not playing the Sentinel? Odd.
He's a phenomenal control player.
I'm glad we finally have Traktask to fix the burn matchup. Same. No, honestly, Traktask probably not good in the matchup. In this matchup at all. Well, it does trade with the like 4-4. Gains 5. I'm not sure. Like it seems like it can impact a race, but not necessarily very easily. I summon Venerated Loxodon. Exclamates opponent. Okay. Says Canister. Vansol, thank you very much for your Prime sub. I appreciate the heck out of you doing that, broski. Silence. Holy fuck. Silence. Silence. I'm guessing it's actually for Zoo. The logic is their cost binding. Yeah. I mean, binding doesn't really play into that. Tribal Flames going face does. And Territorial Kavu being a 5-5 does. They revealed and Goblin Bushwalker, so they just kept up a silence last turn. Alright, let's just have 4 Explore and no Saga postboard. Like, I can't lose if I play Cyborg like that. And Traktas and Escape the Wilds are a bit bad, but so am I. And as I said, we need to play test. So I was just thinking what card is actually matches up well against Zoo, and Traktas I think does. Trades with Wicca. To fulek, ale jesteś zestresowany, co? Jest git. Nie denerwuj się. Fractask does by gaining life, blocking Kavu, trading with Kavu, not being like easy to attack through, leaving a champ blocker, being cheaper than Titan, not getting stubborn denied, not being easy to clear to attack through. The second monster doesn't trade with a Kavu anymore, but it blocks many monsters still. Elder Gargaroth stream when Elder Gargaroth is a creature you play and your opponent plays a removal spell and you're left with nothing. Those creatures are bad, always have been. Look at Shield Red. So yeah, no, never. We don't play cards like that in the stream. Isn't Ent generally better than Tusk? Well, like 6 is the Titan range, so it has less. Like, yes, generally Generous Ent is a better card because it's a forest too, but it is not, I think, a better sideboard card against Zoo. Which was my thought process, that Zoo is very popular, and not having sideboard cards against the very popular deck is something you can do with, like, it's a good matchup anyways. But there are some cards I would like to board out, so having some cards I would like to board in would be nice too. Bounce land, let's us pop off. Yes. We draw a, well, needs to be a Gruul Turf. Well, it doesn't need to be a Gruul Turf, we have the Dryad or red fixing. My sideboard planning as Murktide is in my sideboard sheet. Like, doesn't change too much. Holy shit. We are doing it. First appearance from Crush the Week. I think that's the first time ever I have drawn it. No. Holy shit. This is insane. They were ready. Gleeful Demolition on my Amulet. Fair. Another one? Epicure, Rocky. Ay, ay, ay. Voldaren, Epicure, and Esper Sentinel. Those are some banger cards. Thinking on playing a Grazer for defending myself. Seems good. Like, I need just the Dryad plus Amulet. I like the fist. Modern Healing of Fortune, there is a card people put in their deck. I'll remind you that I'm playing a league today. Instead of the usual prelim, so people just play what they wish to play. Cheapy. So yeah, hopefully villain doesn't destroy my Dryad or Amulet. Oh no. That punishes my Grazer deployment. So I'm likely screwed unless I draw the Onion Ring. This is almost great, but not quite. Well, I draw incentivizing me to keep Grove Chamber in hand. No, if I draw Turf, in fact I want to cast Escape. Of course my point is silencing me on the next turn and nothing can save me. Goblin Bushwalker, quick math tells me that I will suffer lethal damage now. Silence is such a great sideboard card in your opinion. Okay. I'm glad that people can express themselves and have opinions on the internet and in the world. So definitely a strike one against escaping to the wilds so intensely. Will I change decks for Prague if we go 05 this league? Unlikely. I'll put back Otawara Gardens to make constructs with the Saga. It's gonna be a little bit of action. Enough action to maybe impact the game a tiny bit as I draw out of this. Multi 5. My opponent leads on Darkslick Shores, puts the feeling of terror in me as I think of mill, but then they play a preordain. Just curious. Can play 2 amulets, but it doesn't really change anything, so I'll make constructs. Yeah, I'll update my Prague list. Chatters. Maybe it's some kind of a combo deck if they play Sleight of Hand and Preordain. Perhaps Lotus Field, Twiddle.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Hello Canister and thank you for the best amulet content in Set Zone.
Would have preferred perhaps well, so actually I guess it made a difference. If I played 2 amulets last turn, the previous turn I could have used map, play turf and play escape, which is like exactly 5 mana and not 6. So yeah, actually there was a reason not to make a construct to be faster. So if we combo die to our opponents on the next turn, then I guess it's a reason to. It's kind of my fault. City of Brass. Unfortunately, we had the nightmare scenario of getting Hanweir Battlements in there. We might escape the wilds and we failed to draw Titan, but we can continue setting up. Well, hopefully not dying on the next turn, but we'll see what my opponent has to say about that. Mr. Beast. A bit late. But it's good. It's good. Aye, we missed. 2 damage. Let's not miss 2 damage. Blue. All right. Usuno and Baile. So, I guess making the construct was, in fact, weak against the combo deck. Which the first Darkslick Shores doesn't guarantee, but increases the likelihood. I did think of that possibility, although Lotus Field, Twiddle, Storm came to mind more so than this. Bolide. So, my sideboard seems to contain no relevant cards, except that the One Ring is not particularly good. We could use Defense Grid to counteract their interaction. I think the Ring kind of doesn't do anything. Escape gives me an extra land drop, so double Amulet can actually combo a bit further. What about turn the Earth to fill their deck? Grazer stings. Grazer is a card that accomplishes being fast. I don't have Pacts to find the Titans in this build though, so if I board out all the rings, that's not so good either. So I think we just should go without Defense Greed. Turn the Earth to counter Thassas. Alright, I'll put Turn the Earth into my deck for game 3. Sure, buddy, why not? Villain. Unfortunately, Villain is not cooperating in that they don't seem to be interested in playing a game. Well, I played the Pioneer Prelim in 30 minutos. Let's see, how likely is it to fire? My answer is probably not. I'll copy at sorcery speed. Can't wait for my opponent to use a classic ad nauseum sideboard card, Echoing Truth, to set me back 2 turns immediately. Instead they go with a Profane Tutor. So they can't Pact of Negation Angel's Grace, so we can just kill. Opponent is willing to concede the game upon me fetching up a Grazer, which is reasonable. They expect me to play a monster as a follow-up. Could perhaps maybe board out Otawara or a Boseiju. Like, how likely am I going to be to bounce anything relevantly? Pretty unlikely. Maybe bouncing like their mana source is relevant. If they Angel's Grace. I guess Turn the Earth actually might be helpful. Turn the Earth also, being in a deck, opens the option of going big with like Colossus, mirror pooling it, and then mirror pooling again if you need like the Colossus to draw your deck. Like they have the Pacts. Maybe let's have like one defense grid to draw two. It probably doesn't matter. Probably is not helpful. What's the deal with Crush the Week? Exiling is relevant against Magus of the Moon out of Scam with Not Dead After All. And then like the Foretell ability makes it like it's an advantage to have over Fire Spout. But it's also an advantage against Young Wolves, so I was thinking if exiling Young Wolves might be a bit of a viable strategy, because I'll keep losing to my Yawgmoth opponents just getting to chill and have the Young Wolves in play forever. So I was thinking that maybe I should attack the Young Wolves a tiny bit more. And it's an effort to do that too. I wish there was a Dismember that doesn't cost 5 life though. 4 life. Kind of tired of having to pay life for my Dismembers. Spend 3, so it comes back on turn 4. So you win before that, good. I hope Uro love emoji. You sure do, buddy. You sure do hope. Blue. White. Pentat Prism. Into Sleight of Hand. I guess they just need to have 4 mana on the next turn, right? So it's understandable. Double Amulet, 3 lands in hand, Colossus probably wins. Always. And we get an extra draw step, which is either a spell or a land too, so I think I can play the second Saga just in case. See. They preorder, which means they don't kill me. That's good. Which also probably means I get silenced next turn or something around those lines. Profane Tutor suspended. Okay. What is opponent playing? It's a classic modern deck ad nauseum. No i co? Najedzoną. So the best way to play around Pact into Angel's Grace would be to not play the second Grazer and play the Colossus like this. I guess I could also pact and pay with the bloom. My opponent decides that my Colossus resolves though, which, well, decides, or maybe just lets the Colossus resolve. Slaughter pacts it. That's fine with me. Goodbye, Mr. Beast. So now I have 10 on the earth available. I could shuffle Mr. Beast back into my deck together with a Mirrorpool if my opponent like survives with an Angel's Grace, and then have turn the earth in my graveyard. Plus the threat of... Wait, you silence now? I mean, I guess they would die if they hadn't. Yeah, I can fetch 2 lands from my deck if I... Not anymore, I let my gardens on top. Not that I have much. Let's map. Look at my deck once again. I guess I'll grab a Boseiju. Can we Wolf Run? No. We cannot. We already made a land drop and we are silenced. Boseiju their Lotus in upkeep and hope they don't have Ad Nauseam in hand. We'll see what they do. Likely. Let's keep Max Green. No copying with the gardens because it's an extra green for my effects. We go to their unkeep, in which villain has to unsuspend their Lotus and pay for the Pact. So first Lotus comes into play. Then villain takes 1 damage. Then villain pays for the Pact. Then I'll Boseiju the Lotus. Perhaps draw step would be more ideal. That villain has 1 card in hand now, so they'll just simply die. No co ty, dotnijmy plamoty. You're gonna play a classic. Well, so what can happen? I can get pacted. But I can still play a second Titan. And we don't get pacted, so it's good. If my opponent pacted this, then they have no cards in hand, I tap my Gruul Turf. leave red in my mana pool, spend green to cast Grazer, put Boseiju into play, untap it 4 times, so I have 4, 5, play my land for the turn, 6, play Titan, win. So we lost to Convoke and we beat ad nauseum, which is fair. Giga fair, Omega Max. Normally it just means big things. Like also not very useful, kind of like pejorative. Dryados, not really interested in Dryados in this end. Should play leagues more often, the opponent's decks are more interesting. If we were after interesting decks, then I should, but I actually like uninteresting decks plenty. Also just means huge badonkers. Well, in this song it does, but in general I don't think it really is used that way. Big klamoty. Holy shit, next time we're going to cast Escape the Wilds. So this just seems like scam with Stalactite Stalker, not the wildest thing we've ever met. Doughty. Not interested in casting my ring. Holy shit, I have a big board now, 10 power. Fortunately I have 17 life points, so I don't care. Time to escape. It's nice, a Titan that cannot be discarded. And Giga Gardens, quintuple Amulet next turn. Fotsies cannot take my Titan, friend. Heh. Escape to the, what I'll say. I guess they are casting the One Ring. The One Ring. The ruling ring. You always have a tough time choosing with no amulet. Well, I'll have 5 amulets in play. 4. Rather than no amulet, so that's what I'm thinking of. So, I don't know, I'll figure something out. Five amulets. Holy shit, resolving Mr. Beast is going to be a nightmare, and it is necessary to win this turn. You could also just Otawara the One Ring instead of going through all the copying Copying that. What if villain responds with Orcish Bowmeisters? I guess they won't, because they would have cast them earlier. Technically a bit scary though. Or my amulet jumping. What's going on? Let's break Modo. Any bounce lands? Holy shit. One bounce land only. Choose a Boseiju. That's a bit large stack. I'm clicking, it keeps moving. I want to put the bounce lands at the bottom. Yeah, I definitely need a wider monitor. Let's close the graveyards to gain a little bit of extra space. Although it's not of much use. Nice stack. Thanks. We've got a nice stack too. Anyone notice what was the time when we played Cultivator Colossus? Those are 21 minutes. Let's see how much time is it gonna take to resolve. 22:05? Holy shit. So it takes a while for me to put the trigger on the stack. What happens if you stack the important triggers in F6? You need to stack them. Like you can't F6 to stack them. Nothing happens. Wait, or does it? No. Yeah, nothing happens. "20 minutes 9 seconds when we stopped putting lands into play." Alright. Can't you stock automatically if all are the same trigger? Amulet is a hard-coded exception to that rule because it used to be that it did, but it hindered the deck a little bit because in some situations it auto-stacked your Boros Garrison and Slayer Stronghold incorrectly, which meant you couldn't haste your Titan. Or rather, you couldn't bounce Slayer Stronghold in spots where you wanted to. So it was hard-coded as an exception to that rule, which now is a bit tiring with Cultivator Colossus specifically. Because of course we are nearing the end of the stack. Then we have to resolve it. But it would be pleasant if it could have taken, for example, 10 seconds instead of literally 5 minutes of stacking the triggers. Goes faster now, there's less to put on there. But, alright, it took 14:35, so it took 5.5 minutes of stacking the triggers to just create the stack. And it's solely because of the model lag. And now to resolve the stack is gonna take a while too. Let's say we want to like... we want to actually resolve it properly. I missed a mana from Kessig Wolf Run, and again. And again. Oh, it's the Boseiju. That will take much more time. Really need a bunch of mana though, so... can yield to untap abilities from like 4 amulets, probably. Just tap some mana every now and then. And now with this amount of mana, it should be fine. I'll just auto yield to all the amulets. They have ring protection, remember. I know, I'm planning my entire turn around that. The way we beat ring protection, I'll just show you. Spawns the forest, as those are lands with no triggers. Here's 1 turf to my hand. Play Dryad. Play forest. Shoot Doughty. Villain will Stalactite Stalker my Dryad. Still an extra Dryad in my deck, so that's fine. The rare Grazer lethal. Fine has ring protection. Seems like the prelim has already started, so I am not gonna be participating in that. Instead, you get this matches footage. Now I'll bounce the ring. I'll play the ring. Gain protection myself. Now I'll play Primeval Titan. Which will fetch... where's my Vesuva? This is my Vesuva. So the plan is to bounce Vesuva, bounce Forest, play Vesuva, copy Mirrorpool. And now we have lethal on my opponent's upkeep through a removal spell. Which beats their Bring Protection. Which I'm doing mostly for the shits, but it took turn off auto yields. We need to put 3 lands into play. And we're going to put all 6 Valakut triggers targeting my opponent. So all in total time to execute this lethal line with quintuple amulets. Will be always yes, always yes, always yield. Seven minutes 44 seconds. So we started at 20 minutes 55 seconds. So 13 minutes and 11 seconds were required since we put Colossus on the stack. I guess we started with playing a Titan, fought US at first. So it doesn't seem like it would be easy to perform multiple times per match. Therefore, I'm cutting Cultivator Colossus for game 2 of this match. It's already peaked. It's not going to do anything better than what we've seen. You cannot Boseiju your own amulet. It is not a legal play. Because Boseiju targets permanents your opponent controls only. So yeah, it is a classic paper only play. Its hand stinks, but opponent mulligan cell keep. Playing against Barto, which is like Palatro, if you think about it for a moment. They fetch a swamp and they play a Stalactite Stalker. Another swamp. Fort Sizer. Takes my Dryad. Not the ring, curiously. Explains it. I have 2 swamps, which is, as they say, sass. But let's make it so that Dryad is a good top deck. If I get mooned, I probably lose this game. Regardless, so let's ignore that. Red, black, Inti, and Stalactite Stalker. Holy shit, that's a lot of pressure. I'm probably just going to die to the creatures attacking me then. We drew Dryad, that's excellent. I can use the Stalactite Stalkers to stalk me. Hi Canister, how do you find with this escape version? I think escape is potentially staying in my deck, but in smaller numbers than what I have now. Okay, so they probably kill my Dryad. Nope. Draw step stop. Draw step stop is so funny. Villain kills Dryad. To which I can say, sure buddy. And I'll use Otawara to bounce the 5/5 Stalactite Stalker win if I draw a land, most likely. I guess the target. Probably just target the Inti. They reveal a Ragavan Nimble Pilferer. Alright, so that's mostly relevant. It doesn't mean that they have lethal next turn, so I guess it is relevant in that sense. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess it's not relevant then. If I Titan, I Titan. So let's go. Escape to the Wilds. Notably poor because uncastable in this spot, so. Needed a Linderoni. Like this. Even then, like, I'm not in the best spot ever, but I have to imagine it's like getting a fountain and something. Escape looking like a worse ring. Good thing then that I did not cut the one ring from my deck to include it. Double Grazer. Guess my opponent's selected Stalker build Grazer is actually pretty solid. I do agree that the One Ring is a better card, and it does seem better. But Mulligan to 5 cards. Ragavan. That's really poor to draw now. It's really, really poor. What a mana base. Ooh. Solid. They flipped a Bone Crusher Giantess. I'll block. Can draw the One Ring or Gruul Turf. Perhaps this game, Crumbling Vestige is looking worse than a Celestial Sanctuary would. Although, not really. Kind of. Make Inti into a 3/3. Flip an Inti. No, they make it for free Ragavan. Let's double block the Ragavan then. You prevent the trigger and prevent 4 damage. When bolts one of those. Takes my Escape the Wilds, which would have been a marvelous top deck. Alright, so I wouldn't mind an untapped land. Not quite that, but next turn is gonna be good. Holy shit, what a mana base this game. So good. They kept their card, I hope it's Magus of the Moon. They flipped Boseiju. Who? Black, black, white, white. No! That's... no. Holy shit. Triple Grazer was really poor this game. I think I should be keeping Grazers, keep quad Grazers against villain. I bounce Ragavan the monkey. Take 6, go to 4. Now they don't play anything and I draw an Explore. We draw the Onion Ring, which is good. Okay. I mean, the Titan next turn is probably not quite there when it comes to surviving with the ring life payment, but play land first, discard Thoughtseize, flip. Not dead after all, so a blank. I will need a sweeper though. Even the 2 damage one will be good enough. Well, the Stalactite Stalker is a free toughness creature. Just draw Amulet plus Karoo. That is one of the possible ways this game could go. That's another. So how much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can play Titan and search for Vesuva and Crumbling Vestige to play the ring. Actually I can because I am missing double green through normal means, so I can't play the Titan because of that. That is funny. Hello. Reveal, Dryad goes on top. I can use Stalactite Stalker to kill it, but I think it's worth keeping on top. I'm still Jenny from the block. Holy shit, the Stalactite Stalker is so powerful. I don't know what I'm exactly thinking about. I have 2 minutes. I can just Mirrorpool my Titan. and perform the lethal Kessig line. The guy gives -5/-5, which is not enough to kill the Titan. So let's better get it moving. The Dryad is irrelevant in there. Maybe it was a mistake to keep it on top then? I'm still Jenny from the block. Holy shit. 12 plus 6. Not enough. Holy shit, 0 seconds. Good game. It's a draw. That happens occasionally. When you run out of time at the exact same time as dealing damage and Moto gets confused and doesn't know which came first. So yeah, I was barely like able to click through the Kessig Wolf Run line, pump the Primeval Titan, and then it's a draw. The awkward thing is that it counts as a loss for both players now in the league. Canister 1-2, come on, that's slander. I'm 1-1-1. Try mold this, probably keep this. Put back Mirrorpool. Holy guacamole, I love drawing Kessig Wolf Run. It's just so good to draw it. I love it so much. I should set a price for a person who probably should have kept Mirrorpool in my hand because they tapped land for like the amulet, but I didn't know I'm gonna draw one in my opening hand in my first draw step. Do I like drawing Sunhome though? Yeah, I was about to say I should constitute a money price for the person who is going to find a way to cut Kessig Wolf Run while still maintaining the double amulet kill. Tot Sizer. Ay. Ooh, sound Kessig Wolf Run makes when you draw it. Fair. It sure does. I took one of my onion rings. Fair. Perhaps they want to cast it with Doughty. But maybe I'll just draw a Simic Growth Chamber and win. Put Sunhome back. Holy shit, that's true. That's technically a valid answer to what I said. So here, because Wolf Run is in my hand, I can't lethal, but I can just win anyways, like next turn. Taking ring is bad for them, isn't it? Because you can draw Karu and go off. Well, yeah. I mean, on the flip side, if it can also work out well for them. So it's not like so clear cut, right? Because that if they take the ring, that means that they get to play the ring next turn and maybe like find Peel or Ruin to prevent Karus. So I wouldn't even claim that my opponent made a misplay here. But I will claim that the line hasn't worked out for them. As I said, I cannot literally kill my opponent, but I think I will be the winner of this match, if I might take a guess.
He's a phenomenal control player.
When I see what Amulet can do and what cards are on the modern ban list, I feel that Wotk is doing something wrong. Either unban stuff or ban the deck that's hard to interact with and kills you on turn 3 all the time. It's such a joke that this nonsense is still legal.
Holy shit, ale Sodek to jest kurwa spłakaniec. Yeah, we would attack, we would get bounced on Otawara, bounced Delphi, get some TOS and any land, play the One Ring post-combat. Exactly, Happiness LTD gets it. I think Crash the Wing is solid against my opponent's deck, honestly. So is Explore. Grazer is not really. Maybe like Storm's Wrath is. Kills Karen too, and like they play Voidwalker and Bowmaster. I assume it's coffers, maybe it's not even coffers. Go 61, so we draw basics less often. John Julio, thank you very much for the Sabini. I appreciate your support. Instantly I draw double basic against the what seems like a Field of Ruin deck. I'll take the liberty to mulligan this hand and keep this one instead, which is much better, especially after I put Forest on the bottom of my deck. Why are you playing Crash the Week and not Fire Spout? Not valuing the Murktide matchup and trying to keep the Grazers alive? Question mark. Well, I guess I value the Murktide matchup, but like not in a way where I feel the need to play like the sweeper for them. Crash the Week matches up well against. Well, I think I'm theorizing that it might match up well against Young Wolves. So I'm interested in playing that a little bit. And I'm interested in using it to kill Magus of the Moon out of Scam, which it's better at than Fire Spout. Fire Spout's best thing is that it kills DRCs with it, but I haven't been even playing against many DRCs, and it's like the least convenient overall way to account for stuff. Holy shit, it's Dirac. Yeah, Firespout is not a card I want to board against Zoo. I don't think I want it in my deck against Zoo. Sometimes I board some of the sweepers, they're just not particularly good because they never sweep everything. Sometimes I board them too if they have Meddling Mage. Will I play Brazil Vampires in Pioneer Showcase Qualifier? What is Brazil about them? I think I will not play the... well, it's likely I will not play the showcases this time around and I'll defer my invite instead. Oh, Black-Red, Brazil, holy shit. I asked them if I can defer, they said me I can defer, but I have to make the decision before leaving for the weekend, so... I'm going to Prague this weekend to play in the LMS, so it's weird, I don't know if I should. Maybe I should still play the both of the qualifiers. And if I were to play it, I would likely play Vampires. Holy shit, Ashok. I guess I'll just attack it. Holy mill. -1 Titan. Concede last round like last time. Unfortunately, that's not possible. What can I get? Wait, what? Oh, it's mills and then exiles, so they actually get the cards. Holy shit. They let you defer, there is little reason not to do it. Well, the reason is that, like, Prague is essentially like an RCQ for Amsterdam, and so is... While the showcase qualifiers are like a PTQ for Amsterdam, and there's 2 of them this weekend. Plus, I could qualify for the showcases next time, right? So, if I'm like manage to qualify again, then it's a waste. Maybe I should kill a Saga. So we have a car or 4, or potentially 5 people going from Poznan to Prague, which I'm also the driver of, so probably will... oh, it doesn't matter to kill this. I was laughing at the Void Rocker, but suddenly they are the one who's laughing. Mishra's Factoid. Guess I can maybe live an extra turn if I don't actually discard the Boseiju. If you qualify for the PT, you get the ticket as like part of the qualification. I guess if they have Neil for Boseiju, I need to proactively use it. Oh, they tapped the factory, that seems odd. Shadow Spear. Okay. So now I need to kill the construct. Now the rack, which doesn't do anything. Shoulder's Edict kills me. Fair. Fair, villain, fair. Kind of surprised by that interaction, but I guess it is how it works, right? Because Ashok says mill, then exile graveyard. So it actually does put the cards into the graveyard, but then exiles it as a part of the same effect, but Voidwalker exiles them first with its replacement effect. Feels weird, man. Like, doesn't feel like necessarily what I would imagine this works like, but I guess it does. Should I have Thragtusk and Radiant Fountain against the villain? I think I'll just 1-0 Grazer at all. It's a bad top deck. I'll just have to remember there's no Grazer in my deck. I think Mr. Beast stays. Yeah, it is like what? It is the same case, essentially. I'll play Multi 5 again. I'll play land and then Saga on turn 2. They discarded Dryad. How come? So I have to say that Storm's Wrath's slightly ambitious cost has been a bit of an issue, a bit more often than I would like it to be. I am only playing one Ent right now. I probably should play only one Storm's Wrath. Or not at all. There is no Rhinos. There is Yawgmoth where I don't hate it. I do hate this guy though, fucking Ashok. Why do you mill me? It's not even good. Isn't Brotherhood's End better versus Yogg? Holy fuck. Brotherhood's End? How much toughness does Yawgmoth have, chat? I mean, Storm's Wrath kills Grease too. For what it's worth. But I think, you know, if you were to raid sweepers against Yawgmoth, best ones are gonna be Crush the Weak and Storm's Wrath. With like adjusting Storm's Wrath for being a bit uncastable. Portaling mid-combat with Titan is cool. Yeah, I guess you can do that, but probably doesn't matter. I do think I would like to have a removal spell that kills actual Yawgmoth. If I'm going to board some disruptive artifacts against Yawgmoth like Cage. So there is that. Oh, that's a powerful card. Sort of. It's actually really good in this spot. The OG Mr. Beast. Liliana of the Veil. Holy shit, this Storm's Wrath is gonna be the best ever. I guess they can cast Traktask. That would make the Storm's Wrath not the best ever because Traktask is gonna live. Nope. Perfect, they need to protect their Planeswalkers. Holy shit. Alright, no post-combat pitch grief. Instead, mill 4 cards. Fine with that. I play Boseiju. I produce red mana. I produce red mana. I play Storm's Wrath. So exile a bunch of cards. Doesn't seem to matter much. Escape to the Wilds has failed to perform much that was impressive. No Mirrorpool is annoying. I think it's irrelevant, more so than annoying. But fair. I guess no reason why it couldn't be both. They get to live one turn, don't they? No, I think I'll find a way. Well, the villain could stop me from winning this turn by... Yeah, I guess they couldn't. By making me run out of time and then good game, it's a draw. "12 minutes Colossus, let's go." Holy guacamole. I think I've had enough of that for today. I will in fact skip that in favor of just casting Titans. And fetching 2 Molten Pineapples.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Canister wins the match. Nice hand. With my single Pact. No more T-West in my deck. Puts 2 Leyline of the Guild Pact on the battlefield, that's crazy. Beating 1 is a challenge, let alone 2. Kekv. Black mana. Magic Jargon. ETB. Holy shit, what a question. Jargon. Scion of Draco number 2. This is now serious business. Now just E. That's funny. First strike. Chat, first strike implies the existence of second strike. Thoughts? Yeah, second strike being regular combat, indeed. Mr. Beast stack resolution any percent. This is triple amulet. It's going to be much quicker than the 13-minute stack, I guess it was. Because as you see, the time it takes for me to scroll through the triggers and to register a trigger being put on the stack is much shorter. It actually builds up if there is more triggers to accumulate luck together. Can you just play with a larger monitor so that you don't have to scroll these stacks? I could. The issue is that I don't have a bigger monitor than the one I currently have, so it's not enough of a prompt to make me acquire one. I don't know how big it is. Resize the window to be short but very wide. I guess you can do that to avoid scrolling. Holy shit. Genius. Today is the day that we had a breakthrough in Mr. Beast resolving technology. Somehow I never thought of that. Still, we have to scroll here, but I mean, you could make it smaller. Nope, that's the minimal size. Oh, I have enough mana, I don't care anymore. I have to bounce 6 lands, that is so many. They have played 39 seconds, it is clearly enough. That's actually funny, they did play 39 seconds. They did play the most broken thing in Modern. ... Twice. I feel the chat addicted to the stack. Turn 0 Leyline, the new turn 1 Ragavan. I guess, although it's kind of useless against Titan, so I don't mind. New card. What have you flipped? The Kessig Wolf Run, which I need to play. Well, need. Need is a strong word. Well, there's literally no bounce in my deck. That's funny. We flipped the Grove Chamber here and we drew all of them earlier, so I just ran out of bounce lands. Too bad. What do you imagine when you are triggering Valakut? How is the free damage getting there? I assume it's an eruption of sorts, right? The volcano and the artwork is erupting after all. It's just shooting lava onto your opponent once there's too many mountains. You played 2 blue lands and 2 Scion of Dracos. Let's assume it's the counterspell bullied. And all of those decks seem like overly prepared for Saga. Like way too much. I don't know if it's a Kavu deck or not. Let's submit like that. 1 million pick your poison sounds about accurate, yeah. Great hand. No null-hide Phyreox in the sideboard kind of scam. Omega Lul. You succeeded. And making me pull up null-hide Ferox and reading it again. 4 mana 6/6, hexproof. You can't cast non-creature spells. 2. Null-hide Ferox loses all abilities until end of turn. Any player might activate this ability. If a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard null-hide Ferox, put it onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your graveyard. Turvare Louis. 4 mana 6/6, that's insane. Was it played in Standard at all? I don't remember. Was that the Galta deck or was that not Galta anymore? There was a Galta Heart of Kiran like Stompy deck. It's the best play. I think I like this kind of like hedges around stuff a little bit. Get an explore and like if they pick the poison I can like sacrifice Amulet, just play slow with rings. Like if they kill, you know, gives me the most flexibility. If they play a creature, I'll just play the ring too. Okay, I guess we just win. The stack is pretty small when it's like this. Pretty inconvenient. What a strong hand that was. Ouch. Oh, it's a full cool. We got the first Season 2 Champions Showcase qualifier point attained. For our 3-2, which was, I guess, a 3-1-1. So we did get scammed out of a few extra chests by the draw, but I guess at least my opponent got scammed too. Better that than if I timed out and they would get a win, right? The one loss was Red-White Convoke, round 1. So, what can I say about Escape to the Wilds? Not much yet.